she ran away, if she ran away, come back home.
Thanks for joining us for this week's music show. That was Where's My Love from Seattle-based musician Brian Fennell, aka SYML's debut album, who's with me here in the studio. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Now, Where's My Love? It came out in 2017 and has since gone gold in several countries. And it's had 200 million streams on Spotify, millions of hits on YouTube. A pretty impressive list. How are you feeling now to have your first album?
I mean, first of all, it's an amazing feeling that so many people around the world have responded in that way to a song that I didn't really expect much of. And so along the journey of SYML so far, it's been a series of unexpected, okay. So being on the eve of this album is exciting and also continually surprising.
What's that song about? Where's My Love?
Yeah. It's sort of like a lot of my songs in the way of sort of scratching at this idea of things we can't control. So in that case, it's losing somebody and trying to find a bit of peace in that journey. And by that, I mean peace with not knowing everything, and still being able to love somebody through that process.
The sound on the album is very varied, and a mix of emotional dream pop, synth rock on the opening track, Clean Eyes, but also somewhat melancholic, like on Wildfire and the Bird. Would you describe yourself as a melancholic person?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because music to me is a bit of therapy as much as it is fun. And so when I write, I think that I'm able to be sort of like a calm, happy person in life because I have this outlet, this cathartic sort of outlet of music. So I do consider myself a melancholic person, but not to the point of that's all I am or all I think about.
I want to listen to another clip from the album. It's called The Bird. Tell us about it, though, first of all.
About the bird?
Yeah.
Yeah. So The Bird is really, it's 3 songs in one. It has a few different sort of versions of me musically and of also sort of my creative side as well. So I challenge myself in a lot of ways to make sounds and create in a way that makes me uncomfortable. And this is a great example of that. It's sort of all over the place.
Okay, well, let's have a listen. This is The Bird.
But my voice could not be heard aloud. For hell, he is safe in my mouth. The bird was done.
Amazing voice, Brian.
Thank you.
Amazing. And I wanted to talk a bit about your name, SYML. It's inspired by the discovery of your Welsh roots. Tell us a bit more.
So I've known I was adopted since I can remember, but I only learned when I was a young adult that I was mainly Welsh by heritage. So I don't know anything about my birth parents except for their heritage. And it became this oh my gosh, I have this answered now. But I kind of don't want to know anymore. And
have you been to Wales?
I have, but I'm about to play my first show there in the next few months, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I have to give credit to my wife who found the word, because I was it'd be nice to have a Welsh sort of maybe a word or a sentiment involved in the name. But yeah, SYML means simple in Welsh, and it serves as a bit of a reminder to keep things as simple as possible.
Have you learnt any more Welsh for your concert over there?
No, I need to.
It's not easy.
I know, it's it looks like a crazy fantasy language when you read it, but...
Your songs Bed, Girl and Connor seem to be reflections on your family, on fatherhood. Has your music changed since you became a dad?
Yeah, in some ways I think, from a practical side, it's become a bit more serious. The fact that I get to do this as a job is a really special thing, and that I have a family that's willing to support that. So from that side, and it just sort of works out that it's also very inspirational. They're inspirations to me, bringing up these little lives and being to do that with a partner who is like a beautiful mashup of everything I'm not really. And so yeah, continually waking up every day to be with them is like, oh, another idea to see the world through their eyes. And yeah, I love it.
And do they listen to your music, your kids?
They do. So they know, like, they each kind of have songs that they know are about them or inspired by them. And so when we listen to it or it comes on, they'll kind of like raise their hand, like, that's my song.
It's cute.
Very cute.
You first rose to fame as part of the group in Barcelona. What was it like then to branch out solo?
Yeah, so I before Barcelona, I was sort of started a solo career and realized that that's not what I want. I want to be part of a band. And then after 10 years in a band, I think it was time for everybody to take a break. And again, I didn't really have a plan to start up another solo venture. But the universe sort of like made it come together in a way that was safe again to venture out and to step out into that world again. So it's been, there's quite a few differences about collaborating with a band or being solo, but I've really enjoyed being alone this time.
And you started your musical career wanting to be more of a studio artist than on the road. What changed then?
Man, there's nothing like letting all defenses down to create music that's very personal to you, and then there's nothing like people reflecting that back to you, sort of, you know, letting you know that you're not alone, sort of in your feeling or whatever, or your view of the world. So I think it was just really encouraging to start to hear from people across the globe that it meant something to them, and at least for now, like pursuing the live side of music has been an adventure.
Okay, well, your album is called SYML, and we're going to talk now about some of the week's music
Okay.
news. We're going to start with Taylor Swift's new single.
Tay, okay.
Have you heard it? Have you watched the video?
I listened to it last night for the first time on the metro here in Paris, so I was sort of bobbing my head along. It was good. It's poppy as ever, and at first when I think I read the lyrics before I heard it, and I was like, skeptical, and then I heard it, and of course I was like all Taylor Swift, I'm very much like, it's like medicine. I'm like, okay, this feels good.
Yeah, and just wait till you watch the video. It's amazing. It's the first single off her 7th upcoming album, and it's called Me. It features Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco. It's had 100 million hits on YouTube in just 3 days, which is record-breaking. And it starts with Taylor arguing in French. Let's have a look.
Never find another like me. I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me. You're the only one of you. Baby, that's the fun of you.
Surely can't go wrong with that message.
No, come on. It's good.
It seems though she is returning to her roots. Me shrugs off her sort of icy, vengeful character that we saw in her last album and resurrects this sugary euphoria of her earlier pop hits. It's a song about embracing your individuality and owning it. The singer hasn't yet revealed the name of her new album or when it will be released, but she says there are clues in the Me video. Here we go, a bit of detective work we'll have to do for afterwards. And next to the American rock band Vampire Weekend's new album, Father of the Bride. Now, the double album is their first in nearly 6 years. It has plenty of short story-type songs and is a warm, weighty album. It includes 3 rootsy duets with Danielle Haim, plus nods to the singer-songwriters of 70s Los Angeles. Have a listen to Harmony Hall.
Never forgive the sight of wicked snakes inside a place you thought was dignified. I don't want to live like this, but I don't want to die. I don't want to live like this.
Is that the sort of thing that's on your playlist, Brian, Vampire Weekend?
Yeah, very. I grew up and started creating music, being a fan of theirs, and I think everything they do is quite unique to them, which is to be admired. So
Yeah, they've been working on this for 6 whole years, and there are some bold songs on the album too, such as the last track, which is called Jerusalem, New York, Berlin. It's about lead singer Ezra Cohen's attempt to make sense of his Jewish identity at a time when the country's relationship with Palestine is more complicated than ever. And Vampire Weekend have also announced a series of international tour dates, bringing them through Europe and North America later this year. Now, we're playing out with FKA Twig's single Cellophane. Now, it's a teaser for her upcoming second album. The British musician, dancer and visual artist teamed up with longtime Bjork collaborator Andrew Thomas Hoang to create this frenetic, emotional video. You fans of the musician can catch her on tour from May onwards, and she'll be performing at the Paris festival We Love Green in June. Now, Brian, I saw on your Insta that you're a fan of this song.
This all takes place on the romantic metro of Paris. But
How long were you on the metro for?
30 minutes. I had to go to this one restaurant I wanted to go to, and it was like a straight shot. So I had a playlist up, and this song was on it, and I was just so moved. It's such a heartbreaking song, and disarming. In the video also, somebody sent me the video as well, and I'm just in awe of it. Love it.
Okay. Well, Brian, we're going to play out with that song. A reminder for everyone at home, your debut album, SYML, is out this week.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the show. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Remember, our website, we're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.
I won't die for you. Why won't you do it for me? When all I do is for you. But I just want to feel you there. And I don't want to have to share our love. I try.